Hi, I'm Stan Cody. I'm a product designer at Fender.
And I'm Rick Hines. I'm the amp guy at Fender. And we're here to talk about the Pugilist Distortion, a unique take on the distortion pedal that Stan designed from the ground up. It's got a ton of great features, and he's going to talk you through them.
The Pugilist for me was an attempt to make a distortion pedal that maybe is a little richer than a typical distortion pedal might be. And the thing I started thinking about there was blending different characters of distortion together. I kind of was thinking about the idea of players that live on their volume knob, where maybe you're turning down to try to get different textures while you're playing. So I thought if there were two distortion circuits that could run in parallel, and maybe one could be better at high gain stuff and one might provide some clarity or some more impact. So I started playing with different circuits to do that, and we ended up in, I think, a pretty cool place. It's a pretty straightforward pedal. It's got two separate distortion engines built into it. One of them is a little lower gain, one of them is a little higher gain. There's a blend control where you can blend from one to the other, so you can go 100% of one to some kind of mix to 100% of the other. There's, of course, an output level control. And then there's this cool thing. Once you have two distortion engines in a pedal, you might as well make it where you can stack them too. Like people will stack overdrive pedals from time to time. So there's a switch on here. Instead of being in blend mode, you can pop it in series mode. It puts one channel into the next, and it disables the blend knob. And then finally, there's a bass boost switch. Sometimes, if you're playing into an amp that's already distorted a little bit and you're using it for more like a push, you don't want the pedal to have a tremendous amount of low end because it can get really muddy. But on the other hand, if you're playing through a totally clean amp and you want a little more low end authority, the bass boost switch kind of fills in some low frequency area. So I'll play through a little bit, and Rick can kind of turn some of the controls and go through what.
Yeah, why don't we start out on the channel A side of it, and I'll play around with the tone knobs and the gain a little bit just so they can hear how that sounds. All right, I'm going to go ahead and blend to the other side so you hear just that channel. Why don't we try that in series?
Yeah, for more gain, even more gain.
What I might do is like set the clarity on that side and a little bit more top end and brightness so that you get the pick attack, especially if you're playing like heavier stuff. And then the other side, I should say, has a little more saturation and gain and might make it a little darker. And then you just use the blend knob to find that sweet spot, just where it's like articulation, but then the right amount of gain.
So like if I go into the blend mode, if I set the clean channel up pretty clean, and then the dirty side maybe a little darker. So if Rick starts to kind of turn the blend knob back, you'll start to hear more of the pick coming in. And then if you go all the way up, it's more of the, more like the saturation.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed about the Pugilist is, the vast array of tonal stuff that you can do in the blending. I feel like, you're playing a Blues Junior, which has got EL84s. I've got the Princeton, which has got 6V6s. They're different sounding amps. They respond differently, the articulation and stuff. So having that ability to blend the tone and then blend both channels, you can find the sweet spot on either amp, I think. Any amp, pretty much. Yeah, the other great feature about the Pugilist is we really thought about this pedal with people playing live in all situations. So the fact that it's got a door on the bottom that flips open, you can get to the 9-volt battery immediately and change it on the fly. The fact that you have the ability to turn on and off the LED on the knob, so when you're playing live, you can see where they're at. You can turn it off if you don't need them. And even the staggered input and output. So if you've got pedals on your pedal board, you can stack them a little closer, get more, a little more free space to add more pedals, which most people do, myself included.
Thanks for checking out the Pugilist Distortion. Stay with us for more videos.